So in this video, I'm going to be telling you what might have happened if Pony decided to give the potion to the player. Now, this is going to be a series. I will continue until Intercity and more releases. Don't worry, I'll be making theories and more. This series is also fan fiction, so you also get to participate. Comment your what if something something, and that's all you need to do, and I'll do the thinking. So, lastly, please subscribe, and my channel is really dying, so please take 2 seconds of your time and subscribe to this video. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to like this video as well. And let's jump right into today's video. What if Pony decided to give the player the potion and not Doggy? Quick notice, it doesn't matter who the topic is about. Even if the player is the one who's being harmed and being missed out of the entire story, I will make a main character apart from the player, which makes it so that all the characters are main, not just the player. Without the player, the story doesn't have to be like... Let me take this as an example, okay? What would the story have been without the player? The player would have been the only human who was infected, which is completely different. So the player can also be affected in all these what ifs, so you can also comment what theories and what ifs according to that. And also all of the clips and screenshots and videos most of them were taken from Antantix's video. So go subscribe to him. Huge credit to him for helping with the clips and the screenshots. So yeah. So the story for book 1 is the same till the forest map, where Doggy gets infected in the actual story, but this scenario, Pony is forced to give the potion to the player. Willow and her gang pinned down the player and fed the potion to them. Now Doggy, hearing this, unlike the player, wakes up, tries to stop them, but he was too late. They have already given the potion and have fled the scene. Seeing this, Doggy runs to the player, gives him a hand and pulls him up to the bench, and the player forces Doggy to leave without him, and this is where the story starts. Doggy, now devastated, losing his only partner, company, more importantly, a friend. Here is where the story changed. Since Doggy woke up in a scenario where the player was sleeping when Doggy gets infected, he was able to catch a glimpse of the one who fed the player the potion. He flees the forest and gets a call from a walkie-talkie from Mr. P. He gets a call from Mr. P to save his friend, Bunny. From now, everything is pretty much the same until the carnival map, except for the part where in Metro, where Bunny doesn't get infected. So here, why this change happens is because when we escape the school in the actual story, the player faints and goes to the hospital, where Bunny drinks Mr. P's potion, but in the storyline here, we were not hit by the Piggy in the Piggy house. Hence, we don't faint. So we go to the hospital so we can use Mr. P's helicopter to go to the city to check out the condition and in search of survivors. But when Mr. P decided to send Bunny and Doggy to go check the carnival, where they find Foxy and Clowny infected. Now after escaping the carnival, we meet Zizzy and Pony. Doggy starts to recognize Pony, but isn't for sure. So they decided to recruit them, but here Bunny called Zizzy and Pony to join Mr. P, just to find out that he had fled the city. Abandoning Bunny and Doggy, scared that they would find out that he was the one who started this infection, leaving 2 potions for Bunny and Doggy, thinking that it would get rid of them by making them infected, was his best choice at survival, because he knew he was going to be confronted by Doggy and Bunny eventually if they knew about him creating the virus. I can back this theory up because the only thing we know about Mr. Theory at this point was that he was developing a vaccine for the disease, but no one knew he was the one who created it, so naturally meaning only Georgie knew, since his family was the first to test the vaccine. But since he was in hiding, no one knew about the vaccine and the virus. So now they check the city and find the 2 potions. They don't drink it, even with a note saying the last of my vaccines, giving it to you so that I don't lose my only friends. Obviously, they don't drink it because they don't know if they can trust someone who abandons them in this time. So they hold on to it until the whole Georgie thing behind the dumpster and stuff happens. They then find Georgie, and this is when they realize that Mr. P's vaccine was the very thing which started this infection. Now they understand the potions were set for Doggy and Bunny so that they would get infected and not follow him. Realizing this, they decided to team up with the crew, Zizzy, Pony, two new characters, Giraffe, Mimi, and Zizzy's sisters, Z and Zuzi. They get a signal from the outpost that a helicopter has landed there, so in search of Mr. P, Bunny, Pony, Doggy, and Zizzy head to the military camp, leaving Georgie back at the safe house. But we all know what happens. Georgie follows them and attracts the crowd of infected soldiers, and then Zizzy and Pony fight them off while the remaining three go in to confront Mr. P. Mr. P thinks that all these people are hallucinations and starts to fight them. When Doggy decides it's a good idea to blow the entire lab up, Doggy starts to see ghosts. Ghosts of the player. Doggy starts to go insane until he remembers that he needed to save Mr. P. Not knowing what to do, he gives Mr. P a photo of his dead wife, calming him down. Then Mr. P confesses that it was him all along who caused the virus. But the story doesn't end here. A few months later, Doggy has memories of the player and him hunting down Willow in the alleys, clearly missing his long-lost friend, after seeing ghosts of him appear in the plant map. Now the four, Bunny, Zizzy, Pony, and Doggy, head to the store to find batteries. After returning with the batteries, Mimi fixes up the radio and starts to see if anyone is there. And after a few minutes, voices come out. Very recognizable for Doggy. It was almost like he knew who it was, but decided to be quiet about it. After telling the group to meet them at the Old Oak, Pony starts acting weird about the group, almost as if he knows who they are. But Zizzy tells them that it has been a while since they've seen other survivors and convinces him to meet them. And finally, Doggy connects the dots to find out what happened. To find out it was Pony who infected the player, but he waited for confirmation. After reaching the Old Oak, the group were jumped by the very group who infected the player. After some talk, Willow, the gang leader who wanted revenge after arresting her in the alleys when she was trying to get food, etc. for her family, she calls Pony an ex-member of the group, which confirmed Doggy that Pony was the one who infected the player. Now, after taking Zizzy hostage, Doggy was raged, infuriated, at the pinnacle of erupting, knowing that one of his best friends was the one who infected his partner, the player. Bunny manages to calm both Doggy and Pony down and decided to go help Zizzy. Pony, now feeling worse than ever that his best friend was being held hostage by his very old group, and his best friend finding out that he was the one who infected the player. Now the story continues to be the same until chapter 10, like the actual storyline, but after we escape the chapter 10 map, here's where the story changes. Doggy starts to get haunted by the one and only T.I.O., more commonly known as Dude Man. Pony tells him that he has also been being haunted by him ever since he left TSP after all the horrible things he had done, because we could see him blabbering in the safe place. And after that, they reach the plant map, with no differences from the actual storyline, where Doggy finds himself alone after a long time. He was never this alone. Even after the player's death, he had company as Bunny and the other friends. Even if it had been Pony, he was not alone. That was when he realized that Pony was not the bad guy. It was Willow. She forced him to give him the potion to the player, making him do all the dirty work. He misses Pony's company like never before, but it was no time to whine about it. He needs to find that cure, but he hears noises. He thinks it was one of his friends, but no, it was something he never thought was possible. It was the player. If you played Piggy, you should know that the player is immune to the virus. But this wasn't the player we knew. It was not him. Doggy knew it. The player's eyes were glowing bright orange, consumed by something. Doggy knew it and immediately was Dude Man. He manipulated his mind to helping him, but Doggy can't stop now. He's come so far. Even if it was to end the one thing he wanted back, he had to do it. But that's when he realized the door was an encrypted password lock. After struggling to find the password, He opened the door to find himself facing Tiger and Willow fighting for the cure. Doggy breaks them up and settles them down. They leave the facility and they find the military landing there. They weren't infected. Just as they were about to hand over the cure, Dude Man summons all his slaves to stop them and jumps into Doggy's mind, talking about what would happen if he doesn't join him. Now it was time he had to escape and beat the entity itself. Doggy does the puzzle we had to do for the true ending. Any normal person would have given up, but something burned in Doggy's heart. It was that he can save the player if he can destroy Dude Man. He now found himself giving the gun to the ghost of the player. He heard. It was over. They had won. Dude Man was destroyed. The world turned back to normal, and what he saw in front of his eyes was the unconscious body of his best friend lying on the floor. Doggy couldn't be more happier. He had saved his best friend and the world. He forgives for all Pony had done, since he realized that what he had done was not his choice and was forced to do. Hope you liked that video. If you did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe. This video took a lot of effort to make. Comment what else do you want to see in the next series video, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.